at the time of the Paris Climate Accords, and this was about a 35-foot tall effigy of the Eiffel Tower that stood up there outside a popular bar for a good part of that winter. The really good thing that we did with Renew Rocktown is included younger people. So there's a lot of college and high school age people. The activity is very different. We get interns from local universities who come and do some work. Some people use it, work on capstone projects in conjunction with it. And I think what some people have called the Greta Thunberg effect, I think it's a real thing. When we went to the city council and told them that they needed to get their act together and do something about sustainability, I think it made a huge difference. Some of the people standing up and presenting the case were student age young folks. I think they had a lot more credibility than the old folks. The most successful, I think, single project that we produced was working on a sustainability plan for the city. This shows a typical meeting, a bunch of people, and just brainstorming ideas. And we came up unofficially with what we thought were major areas that sustainability around the idea of climate resiliency and recovery would look like. And it included food and waste and sustainable transportation, art, education, conservation, energy efficiency, and of course, renewable energy. Well, this basically became, when we went to the city council and they authorized forming something called EPSAC, or Environmental Performance Standards Advisory Committee, we basically brought this structure with us. And we looked at that as an inside strategy. This was a grassroots organization that had managed to create an inside strategy working with the city, local government on pushing climate issues forward. But if you think about it and remember this, the money that the city was getting from our municipal utility, it should be no surprise which one of these sections got axed from the plan. That's the renewable energy section that got axed. And the reason is pretty obvious. So Jeff's and my sector got just sort of magically disappeared from the inside strategy. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. We haven't given up. What we're doing rather is maintaining inside and outside. Our belief is that, and one of the most important lessons learned is that it was the grassroots pressure that motivated the city to create this, but it's also, if we're lucky enough to get something like that going at a local government level, it's not going to get very far by itself. You've got to keep the outside pressure going, which we're now preparing a formal, what we're calling a white paper, a position paper to present directly to the city council, bypassing the city staff folks who disappeared us, arguing why they need to change the city code in order to enable us to force Dominion to get us renewable energy, and to, if necessary, to try to mount a strong public awareness drive that this is something that is actually probably, the current arrangement is probably exacerbating energy poverty and maybe homelessness in our community. So we're hoping that message at least gets a little traction. And I'll hand it over to Tom at that point for the other half of this. Just ready.
So our realization that we had the renewable energy sort of taken out of our environmental action plan, we decided we need to really bump up the outside group, the grassroots organizing around that. We've now just recently formed a 50 by 25 campaign for energy, clean energy for all. And what's really exciting about that is it's sort of the the logical next step of all the kind of work we've been doing and recognizing that we need to move this thing a lot quicker and really connect to everybody. So renewable energy that we need that matches the science around climate change, right? One panel at a time here and there is not going to do it. We've got to ratchet it up. We've only got, 11 years in terms of what the best science says, right? That we need to move away from fossil fuels. We also want to make sure that it reaches everybody and can reach folks who don't have the income necessarily to be able to get renewable energy in on their home. We also want to go at the source of the problem. And so look at, okay, I spent a lot of years in Latin America and recognized that, you can still have a joyful life without so much energy consumption. So we're really combining then energy efficiency in this and reducing consumption as a crucial piece to this. Also recognizing that affordable housing in Harrisonburg has become a really important issue. The prices are going up and up. And operational costs for people is one of the big pieces around affordability. We have families, particularly in, say, trailer courts, they're spending $300 to $500 a month on their electricity bills. So we're really all about energy efficiency within this too, to help people begin to afford their own housing. And then lastly, it's really designed so that we can both target and change policy, but also create a cultural shift. We need both of those happening simultaneously. So I can hit this button here. So we're basically designing this so that, and we're just getting this off the ground. We're building a lot of stakeholder support right now. That's our stage one. But our asks are ultimately going to be to empower our city council to change the mandates and set a requirement with our public utility to begin to have 50% of our energy in our grid renewable, basically solar and wind by 2025, and then call for them to increase renewable or energy efficiency by 25% in all the municipal buildings and the public school buildings by 2025, and then create incentives, many of which like the CPACE, to get the city to create an ordinance for CPACE, to then have energy efficiency really driven in the private sector as well, all by 2025. And then lastly, we really want to build up, incentivize, and encourage and empower people to take action in their own creative ways in their own homes to move this forward in all kinds of different directions, which we're really excited about. For example, helping people think about what kind of diet they have, or think about different kinds of modes of transportation, maybe riding your bicycle whenever you're within 1 mile of something. We're trying to think about flying less. Those kinds of things are all going to be integrated in the 50 by 25 campaign. We hope that this can then build out and be something that can motivate and inspire other cities around the state. So that's where we are with the progression of our work here in Harrisonburg. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. You forgot to tell you who he is. He's Tom Benevento, and he's director of Line and was the inspiration, although he usually explains that, he was the inspiration for Harrisonburg and Paris, the Eiffel Tower that you saw pictured. So I think we're going to spend some time with questions. You all have a mic somewhere in the picture. Yeah. So
will people in the audience need a mic?
I think the way that they did in the panel is just moving forward, you go to them. If somebody has questions for any of the panelists, raise your hand and we'll come to you.
Yeah. Great panel. Gary Harris, Managing Director, Center for Sustainable Communities. How do you create at the grassroots level, the street level, a movement for change? I mean, that was the gist of the panel here. Moving communities towards solar energy. But how is that done? Because it's that's tough work. To get grandma to move towards solar energy, and particularly since some of our neighborhoods in Hampton Roads here, where they're full of retirees, and they just want to rest and take things easy.
How do we now excite those folks and move them towards change? You didn't hold that mic too close to his mouth.
Oh, sorry about
Next time you should do that. I didn't want to interrupt you. But if you couldn't hear it, you want to just recap the idea.
Yeah, so Gary basically asked, how do we create a strong grassroots movement when people want to rest and have other things going on? Does anybody want to answer?
I'll just throw my few ideas around that. What I found that really works, and I think of it in I call it the 4 Ps of project power to make things happen. And the first one is figure out where the thing that you're most passionate about, right? That's going to give you the energy to do what you really want to be doing. So kind of hone in on that first. And then secondly, and then just start working on it without any money. Get a few people together, and don't worry about all the finances you're going to need to have behind it. Just start working on it. And then do it with principle, like do it with that your life is reflecting the values of what you're trying to accomplish, so that it inspires people and it gets them excited about it too. And then bring in playfulness. This is really critical. Some kind of positive energy that makes people feel like they want to get involved. And that builds that movement away from like sitting around watching television all the time, but you see people excited and having fun. And then the fourth one is persistence. Just doggedly going after it. Like we've been working on some of these projects for a long time, but you just keep at it. Those to me are some of the recipes or the ingredients for a recipe of making things happen in a community.
It's taken a while, as I think I said. In 2012, I went solar. In 2013, I reached out to organizations and people that I knew and asked them to reach out to people who I didn't know. And a bunch of people showed up at my house, probably close to 50 people, to talk about how we I called it increasing our solar footprint in the valley. And not a whole lot happened for about a year. And then we got wind of the solar co-ops. So that meeting in Harrisonburg that Aaron talked about this morning was that first solarized Harrisonburg meeting. And 65 people at a meeting in Harrisonburg's library was a lot for us to be able to pull off. And at the end of that co-op, we had like 35 people go solar, which Aaron was impressed with. I didn't really know what to expect. But you have to appreciate that it's not a sprint, and that's hard. For me, who never has had a lot of patience, as my kids would probably tell you, that's been difficult. And I also am basically an introvert, so doing this in the co-ops was very hard for me. So you have to, don't set your expectations too high, to be my advice, but just keep plugging away and don't feel like you gotta go solo. You have to reach out to other people, because there are people out there who would help you.
A friend of mine in Seattle says, if you want to change the world, throw a better party. I have a lot to learn about this myself, and that's my wife, but I think that what Tom said about playfulness is very important. When those of us who are really paying attention to what's happening in the world, it's really easy to get up and be very, very depressed. And and working together is the most powerful antidote to that. And this is not a 100-yard dash. This is a marathon.
Okay, any more questions?
This one's
I'd
better.
like to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Corinne.
Right. Living in what's the population of Harrisonburg? 50,000. And then all sorts of an area. Rural Virginia, we're spread out. It's very hard. I agree with everything that's been said, especially the persistence. And I was shameless. I went and bugged people, like the school superintendent. I was talking to the guy who preceded Dr. Gratz. And I was also talking to board of supervisor members that I knew. I just worked with whatever I had to work with. And I was most impressed with the turnout at the Rappahannock Community College, because I think that set the groundwork. It's the education that sets the groundwork. I think it's great that we're in the school of education here, because there isn't that much pushback now. When I first started at festivals and things, I had climate deniers come up and smirk and say, I don't believe in that. Which was we don't get that kind of response anymore. So I think the mood is changing, and I think people are more open. What can we do? How can we go ahead? And that's my difficulty. The expertise of Jeff here, I love it in Middlesex County, because a lot of that population are just managing to get by. And they're the ones who need to cut their electricity bills and have their energy efficiency high. Because those are the ones that we want to reach out to everybody. So it's good to be here with experts anyway.
Yes, as far as low-income rural populations, for better or worse, the current political climate has determined they want to reduce the FCC and the Department of Energy. They've moved a lot of their programs that were previously in those two, they consider expendable agencies. They're now in the Department of Agriculture. So if you go to the Middlesex, the Agriculture Department has regional representatives. There are a lot of, and for better or worse, they have also designated the funding for faith-based and community-based projects. So for instance, your low-income people, if Middlesex built a community center that combined services to the elderly, low-income, after-school program, they are funding community-based solar out of those structures, and it's a combination of grants and low-interest loans. So that's one source. Another question I had for Ann was there seems to be an overlap, at least this last term, in the committees, the agriculture and conservation, I forget the other, and you mentioned the Commerce Committee. There are people, for the last term, that were in both. One of them was my representative, Openshade. But I wonder what conservation overlap and agricultural overlap there might be with commerce, so that you get kind of synergy going between those two committees. And then we have one more question for Mark. I really like Mark's holistic approach. And I guess maybe the industry has sort of divided up alternative energy communities between solar and wind and microhydro. And I think if we try to be more holistic, regionally, I work with a lot of Native American tribes in Virginia, and many of them are located on rivers, and they may be good places to do microhydro or tidal sort of things. And that's the way we used to be. We used to be holistic about renewable energy, and now it's kind of balkanized. So congratulations for combining the solar and the wind.
So to respond to your one question related to the different committee layouts, so it's still being determined right now. The committee layouts for the Virginia Senate and the Virginia House have not been set yet. It seems that there will be similarities to past years in the committee layouts, so all I can really say is pay attention, or ask me, or ask anyone from the Sierra Club who can call the Sierra Club office and ask somebody these questions. We'll be following those layouts, and we'll be able to tell you who your representative is and what committee they're in. And why understanding this committee layout is so important is because it lets you know who's going to be reviewing what bills. And bills can die in committee and not go anywhere, or they can make it out of committee and get voted on and get passed. So this is why it's very important. In terms of energy issues, the commerce and labor is really important. Many as we discussed, that's where our solar bill is seen. And then the committee of agriculture also sees a lot of energy bills as well. So those are two committees to really pay attention to on climate change and energy issues. And really good resources to keep up with that as we get closer to session. BPAC.org can tell you everything that you need to know about who your representative is and what committee they'll sit in. And then as session starts to get moving, the Virginia Legislative Information System, I think it's BIS for short, will tell you where different bills are and what's going on with them. Sorry, that was kind of a lengthy question.
Okay, I don't think we have time for any more questions. However, those of us in the panel are sitting right there with Joanne. And if you have questions that you would like us to answer, we will be eating lunch together largely, and we can try to answer. What Sarah also mentioned to you that coming up in early December, the Conservation Network, Virginia Conservation Network, is having a legislative preview. And they're having it in multiple locations around the state to call in by phones. I think the main conference is in Richmond. If you go to the Virginia Conservation Network, VCN.org, I think, you can get the details. I'm sorry? December 7th. That will give you, among other things, the renewable energy outlook. Thank you very much for coming to the panel.
Yeah. I may go to the solar policy training.
Which one is that?
Solar policy training.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna check that out. So,
And then
which one is that?
that's enough. Hollywood. That's a good for you.
Yeah, I can check that out.
So, what were you going to the equity or which one are you going to?
I'm gonna go check that one out. And then probably take a tour of the
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. I was. I think I know that subject pretty well.
Yeah. I just wanted to hear what they were gonna talk about. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Which ones you gonna talk about?
There's a solar policy training.
That's
There's one or two days. I'm going to go to the workforce development.
Yeah, I never like that for that one.
I think I know that one pretty well.
Are those at the same time?
Yeah, they are. I'm going to drop in there to say hi to him.
Yeah, so I probably do some work for us to do that.
To get the thumb drive.
Afternoon, everybody. We're going to make a couple announcements as folks come in. So